Work experience points for PR visas. In today's video update, we will talk about the process of claiming work experience points for permanent residence visas. How to calculate points for skilled employment. The Department of Home Affairs consider 3 factors for awarding work experience points for skilled employment. The opinion of the relevant skills assessing authority on the period of the skilled employment, including the date on which the authority deemed the applicant as skilled. The alignment with the Australian and New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations requirement that includes any prerequisite qualifications, work experience, relevant to the claimed skilled employment. Any other relevant information, which includes employment records, references, etc. If, according to the Skills Assessing Authority's opinion, the applicants get fewer points than what is claimed in the expression of interest, and then the department usually considers the information in Australian and New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations, and applies the result that is more beneficial for the applicant, determining the total period that she was working at a skilled level. The regulations require applicants to be employed in a nominated skilled occupation for a particular period, and not for the applicant to have skills of a particular standard during that period of employment. The department also checks if the applicant is undertaking at least some of the duties prescribed for the applied occupation in Australian and New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations. For example, if an applicant claims skilled employment points as an accountant, the tasks she is claiming, as per the supporting documents, are those of an accountant and not some other occupation. How to calculate points for Australian and overseas employment. While awarding points for skilled employment, the department considers the benefits of extensive work experience in a nominated or a closely related skilled occupation. The department considers relevant Australian and overseas skilled employment during the 10-year period immediately before the date the applicant was invited to apply for this visa to award points. Higher points weightage for Australian skilled employment is given due recognition for the value that first-hand experience and understanding of the Australian work environment can have in assisting migrants to establish themselves in the Australian labour market. It is not necessary to be working as a skilled employee for continuous period. Instead, the aggregated period of relevant employment experience is considered. Therefore, applicants working for non-related employment or studying during the break from skilled employment would also be eligible. For example, if an applicant whose nominated skilled occupation is assessed as an accountant, works as an accountant for 2 years, then undertakes an MBA degree for 2 years, then works as an HR consultant for 2 years, then works again as an accountant for a further 3 years, the applicant would be eligible for employment points based on totally 5 years work experience as an accountant if the applicant's relevant employment took place in the 10 years immediately before the time when the applicant was invited to apply for the visa. Applicants who have both Australian and overseas skilled employment experience would be eligible for work experience points. For example, if an applicant whose nominated occupation is assessed as a primary school teacher, works overseas as a primary school teacher for 5 years, then works in Australia as a primary school teacher on a temporary employment visa for 3 years, the applicant would be eligible for points based on 5 years overseas employment as well as 3 years Australian employment experience. However, applicants cannot combine shorter period of work experience in skilled employment while working in or outside Australia to become eligible for the Australian or overseas skilled employment experience factors. For example, an applicant cannot claim 3 years Australian employment by adding together 1 year's overseas employment experience and 2 years Australian employment experience. This is the end of today's video update. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get the notifications on your screen. Thanks for watching today's update.